Welcome, everyone. Awesome. Yeah, I think we can go ahead to get it started. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to our Communication Leadership Program info session. I'm Liao and the head of outreach in our program. For today's session, because we're just about 10 days away from the second round application deadline. So we'll start by having our student ambassador to share their application experience and then go over a few questions that our student usually ask. And then in the second part, we can answer all the questions that you may have. So during our session, feel free to type the questions that you may have in the chats, and we can either read that for you or you can unmute yourself to ask them directly. And also just let you know that this session will be recorded and uploaded to our ComLead YouTube channel, so you can watch it later. Okay. I'm also joined by a few other members of ComLead team. I will let them introduce themselves. Heather, go ahead.
Hi, everyone. I'm Heather Werthel. I am the Assistant Director of Academic Services for ComLead. So I run our admissions process and am the academic advisor for students in the program. And I'm happy to answer your questions today. Welcome.
Thank you. Sophia.
Hi everyone, I'm Sophia and I'm currently a ComLead student in MCCL track. Before joining ComLead, I had work experiences in marketing and product management, during which time I developed a strong interest in UX and tech innovation. So why I choose ComLead is because of its unique strategy, communication, storytelling, and technology blend.
Yeah, thank you, Sophia. Sophia is also our recruitment and outreach coordinator. So if you come up with any questions or after the session, feel free to reach out to her. Ling.
Hi everyone, my name is Ling and I'm currently a graduate student in ComLit in track MCCL. I'm very happy to be here and my background is public relations in communication field, and I'm really happy to be here and ready to answer all your questions.
Angel.
Hi everyone, my name is Angel and I'm also part of cohort 24 in MCDM track. So before I joined ComLead, I studied communications with a minor in business administration at UW as well. And after graduating, I had an opportunity to work for 1 year under my OPT as an administrative assistant. So that experience really showed me how important digital communication is in every industry. So which why it led me to this program.
Thank you, Angel. So for now, I'd love to continue the conversation with our three student ambassadors. I'd love to learn, how did you prepare your applications, especially for personal statement and short video? I think most of students, prospective students, have a similar question. Yeah, Ling, maybe you can go ahead this time.
Yes, my preparation progress for applications progressed quite quickly and smoothly. I intended to apply right in the first round, which was due in the middle of Jan 2024. So I started preparing for my applications then October 2023. I started crafting my personal statement in late October, just writing some outlines to have a general thought of what I want to deliver in my statement. And I finished it around mid-November. I prepared the short videos during December, and it was my last step for application progress. I just wrote down the script and then recorded using Zoom.
Thanks. Sophia. Sophia.
Yeah, like for my application, the content I prepare, I have thinking a lot about my journey, like both personally and professionally, like what keeps me going and how this program fits into the bigger picture I see myself. So in my personal statement, I focus on what really matters to me and build products that make a real positive differences in people's life. And I also tied that passion to my experiences in UX and product management, showing how it all connects. And I wanted to bring out my own unique take on things and explain how ComLead could help me tie together technology, communication, and real human impact. And also for a short video, I keep it concise and authentic. Instead of over rehearsing, I focus on storytelling, what I care about, I do, and how I see myself growing in this program. Also, like, do not just let this your resume. I think you have to use this as an opportunity to let your personality shine and show what makes you a unique addition to the community.
Very good advice. Angel, how about you?
So for me, I applied on the second round, and like, yeah, for my preparations, like I started by doing like a lot of research, by like reading about the program through the websites, like the courses, and also like alumni experience, to make sure that it was like the right fit for me. And I also did attending like info sessions last year, like you guys, which I think like it's really helped a lot too. So because like it gave me a clear idea of what the admissions teams looks for and what the program is all about. So for my personal statement, I focus on telling my story in a way that felt real and meaningful. And instead of just like listing my experiences, I made sure to connect them to my goals and explain like why this program was the perfect step for me. And I also try like to seek feedback from my friends and also like mentors to make sure that all statement was clear and concise. And for the short video, I try like to keep it simple and genuine, just like to be myself. So I didn't like overthink it too much, and I just like try to spoke it like naturally and just like let my enthusiasm like for this program come true.
Good, good. So if you can share one final application tip with our students, what would you like to say, Angel?
I think like start early and just be yourself. And I feel like just try to take time to research and like this kind of info session as well. I think like it's really important. And I just like want you guys like to really think about why you want to be here. And like, yeah, just like when you're writing a personal statement, I think like don't just like list all your achievements, like, um, but just like try to tell your story and show like how these programs can fit into your journey as well. And for the video, I think like just don't stress too much, because like just try to be yourself and let your excitement like shine through.
Sophia, what about you? What would you say?
I would say, like, you can spend as much as time on our complete website, because I think the information our website delivers all our things we value about. So and also for your application, I will say being authentic and intentional, because like trying, instead of fit into a mold, focus on what truly excites you and how this program aligns to your aspirations. So I think the admission team is like looking for students who have a clear sense of purpose, and make sure your application tells a compelling story about your journey, your motivations, and what you hope to contribute to the program.
Good advice. Yeah. Lynn.
Yeah, I agree with both Sophia and Angelita, because my tip is prepare it as soon as you can to avoid any unexpected. I also advise to read the requirement on the website very careful to make sure that you don't miss any important details, and spend a decent amount of time preparing for personal statement and videos as well.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. I also collect a few questions that our students, prospective students, usually ask in our either info session, open house, or Q&A session. So Heather and Sophia could answer them together. And the first question is, should I submit all my materials before round 2 deadline? Heather?
Yes. So our deadlines are completion deadlines. So our next one coming up is April 1st, and that's by 11:59 p.m. We do get questions sometimes about exactly when the deadline is. So it is on the 1st. So if it's the 2nd, it's too late. But if it's right before midnight on the 1st, then you're still good. You do want to be sure to designate your recommenders though before that, because they should also submit their recommendation by April 1st. So you want to make sure to designate them in the application. As soon as you enter them in there and put their email address, they get an email to complete that recommendation online. So do that early. And for anyone who's required to submit test scores for the English proficiency, also make sure you order those early because they tend to take 1 to 2 weeks to arrive at UW. Unfortunately, it's not instant when you request those scores. So do that early as well.
Yeah. Another question is related. Some students are asking, like, is it okay that I submit my language score or recommendation letters a few days later after round 2 deadline? Is that a problem or is fine?
Yeah, so round 2, our review starts very quickly, and we have very little time to review all your applications in order to get decisions out by May 5th. So we do have a small grace period for recommendations to come in, and so you want to designate them as early as possible, but we try not to penalize students if it's, your supervisor or your, faculty who are a little bit late. And then for test scores, like I said, it takes about 2 weeks for them to arrive. So if you haven't ordered them yet, they'll probably be a little late. Again, that's okay. There's a little bit of a grace period, but just make sure that you're starting that process as soon as possible.
Thank you. I also got this question from many international students. They will ask, like, my language score, like, is it okay that it meets the minimum requirement, but not the recommended ones? Is that a problem?
Yeah, so in round 2, we will consider applicants who meet the graduate school's minimum requirement. And I will get that link and put it in the chat after this answer. So we will still consider it. You do have to meet the minimum. We are looking for applicants, though, that meet the ELP satisfied or recommended score. So that is definitely going to be an advantage if you meet that, but the committee will still look at your application if you meet those minimums. And I'm putting that link in the chat right now.
Yeah, thank you, Heather. And Sophia, you mentioned this earlier a little bit, but do you want to just re-emphasize that with our applicants? Like, what should I keep in mind as a applicant? What should I keep in mind for my video?
I see. I think when creating your video, you have to stick to the basics. No editing, answer the valid questions, and avoid repeating everything from your personal statement. So you have to go beyond what you have already said by adding fresh details and stories. Something you haven't mentioned before. So create a smooth, engaging narrative that ties your experiences together and show how your values align with our program's mission. Keep it comprehensive but concise. Make sure the video stays within the time limit.
Yes.
And yeah, and as for the written personal statement, in my personal statement, I focus on why I choose ComLead and how it boosting my professional growth and goals. And I also go specific, calling out courses, instructors, and opportunities that stood out to me. I highlighted past experiences that prepares me to succeed in this master program and explain how they have shaped me. Since I have already covered my backgrounds, values, and passions, I also took it further, linking my goals to what ComLead offers and sharing the unique skills and knowledge I bring to the community.
Thank you. That's very helpful. Thank you, Sophia. Thank you, everyone. I hope that we have already addressed some questions or concern that you may have now for round 2 application. But also I want to leave most of time, the next 45 minutes for you all. If you have any questions for us, could be about application or about our ComLead program experience in general, feel free to type them in the chat or just unmute yourself. Turn on camera to ask the questions directly. Yeah, we'll just wait here when you are typing your questions.
I saw there's one that already came in. while we were talking last thought says, I can see that ComLead focuses on employment-oriented support. If I plan on pursuing a PhD, what kind of support does the program offer for that path? So I can answer that. Our program is a professional master's program, so it is not designed to prepare a student for a PhD. And most PhD programs would not recognize this master's degree if they require a master's to enter, because we are a professional degree instead of an academic research degree. So our purpose is to prepare people for employment in the communication industries, like marketing, UX, UI design, storytelling, journalism, things like that. So I would say definitely if you're thinking about a PhD, this might not be the best fit for you because that's not what our program is set up to prepare students for. But that said, we have had a couple of students choose to pursue PhDs after this. They really had to tailor their program to try to meet those PhD programs requirements since I said, the program is a professional program, not an academic research program. So it is possible, but that's not the purpose of our program.
Thanks, Heather. I also see another question come through from Natalie. If I major in an unrelated field in undergraduate, will that affect my chances to be accepted to this program? I know the answer is no, but Heather, do you have more?
Yeah, not at all. We don't have any requirements that you have a specific major or even have taken specific classes in undergrad. We get students from a broad variety. We've had music majors, engineering majors, someone majored in textiles, French, German, pretty much, any major you can think of, we've had students come through the program with that. So we are less concerned with what you've already done. And we're looking at what are your goals now and why is this program going to help prepare you for that?
That's true. Next question, if I'm going from my undergraduate to this master's right after I graduate, will that affect if I get into this program? Does experience increase my chances of being accepted? Okay. I think you're asking about like, do I really need like full-time or internship or working experience before I join ComLead, right? Definitely, I think the answer is also like no. Heather could share more. Like if you look into our student profile, I think we have like about, is it 40% of our students come right after this program after they graduate from the college, right, Heather?
Yeah, so for the MCDM and the MCCL degrees, there's no work experience requirement. I would say the majority of our applicants are coming straight from undergrad for those degrees. The one exception is our MCCN, the Communities and Networks degree. That is our mid-career degree. And so it does require that you have at least 2 years of full-time work experience in order to apply to that one. So it's only the MCCN that has that requirement. MCDM and MCCL, and the majority of students we admit are coming kind of straight out of undergrad. So it's not an issue at all.
You can also just unmute yourself if you don't want to turn on your camera, if that's easier. And
I'll add a little follow-up to that. Just that idea of what will increase your chances of being accepted. This question comes up a lot. People are asking, if I have a higher GPA. And I do want to emphasize that, again, because we're a professional program, we're really looking at what are your career goals and why is this degree going to help you get there? So as long as you meet the minimum requirements for GPA, we don't care where your GPA is. We don't care what work experience you have. So none of those things are going to impact your admission decision more than the story you tell and the case you make for why this program is the right fit for you and how it's going to help you prepare for those goals. So that's really the focus that the admissions committee is looking for. They're not looking at those like numeric things or how many years do they have, what's their GPA, how many internships have they done. Those are really not considerations. It's really that case you make and the story you tell in your application for why we're the best place for you.
That's true. And once you get into our ComLead program, you always get many opportunities like to work either on campus or work for our ComLead program as a graduate assistant, like Sophia and Lynn, they're working for ComLead as GA. I don't know if you want to share about what you're currently doing for ComLead. Maybe you can tell a little bit us about your GA opportunities and how to find those opportunities within our program. Maybe Lynn, if you want to talk.
Yes, I would love to talk about my positions because I love working for and with ComLead. My position's title is Event Coordinator and Communication Specialist. I do exact what my title is, Event Coordinator. I coordinate event for ComLead, and I got opportunities to work with ComLead faculty, student, alumni, and our partner as well. So yeah, I really enjoyed my positions, and in order to get into these positions I'm in right now, I personally do not have direct experience in terms of event coordinating. I only have experience in communications, PR, social media strategy, something like that. So in order to prepare for your interviews to apply for any on-campus job, you just need to show your passions and you need to tailor your experience that fit the requirement of the positions. That is all of my advice.
Thank you. Sophia.
Yeah, like for me, I like similar to what Lynn said, I also don't have any like recruitment or outreach experiences. But for me, I think I kind of show my passion to I want to get this job during the interview, and I do some research, and I after I got this job, I really enjoy to work with Liao and Heather and our other colleague alumni. I got a lot of opportunity to network with them and also attend valuable events and gain more insights from the coordinated experiences. So I think that is really a, a benefit for our college students to have this opportunity to learn more from our faculty and alumni.
Oh, thank you, Sophia. We got a question come through. Let's get back to the question. Our student is asking, do you have many mature students? I think you mean like mid-career professionals, or is it more like recent graduate in early career stage? Oh, thank you, Heather.
Yeah, I just put a link in the chat to our student demographics so you can kind of see overall. But one thing you'll see on there is 11% of the students in the program got their bachelor's degree 10 or more years ago. And that or more includes people that got it 20 plus years ago as well. So we definitely have our, mid-career professionals coming back, even late career professionals kind of retooling, coming back into the program. I think that lends a lot to class discussions. So it's not just recent grads that's our largest group of our population, but we have students from all different, backgrounds and experiences.
Thank you. Let's see if there are any other questions that we may have. And Sophia, I think we also have a student ambassador Q&A coming next week, right? So first,
Yes.
do you want to share a little bit about that and to tell our applicants?
For the student ambassador, well, this event will hold on March 26th. And we also invite our student ambassadors to share what's their experiences and how they get into this program and how ComLead help them to pursue their career goals. So feel free to join and don't miss this opportunity to learn more some insights from them.
Yes, I'm sharing the upcoming student ambassador info session here. So you're welcome to join and to speak with our students. Yeah, feel free to do so. I think we'll wait for a few more minutes. If you have questions, feel free to ask. If not, feel free to leave, and we can always connect with you. You can always email us via comlead@ujob.edu. And if you're still around, want to hear a little bit more about ComLead, maybe we can ask some extra questions with our student ambassador. Think about what is your favorite class that you have been taking so far at ComLead, and what is it about?
It's a good question. I want to hear that answer too.
Yeah, I can answer that questions. So I'm currently taking 5110 with Stuart Gordon and also 515 with Jason Levine. And that's like the most my favorite class for now because it hands-on like practical instead of like theoretical things. And also like last week, Jason Levine's also invited like some of the guest speakers from his company from AWS. And we had like a lot of chances and opportunity to have like a Q&A session, which I feel like it's really beneficial like for us to learning about like how do we prepare for the interviews, like, and also the resume and applications. And yeah, I really like their class because they not only show like the step by step of how to do like the project, but also like help us in guiding, like give us like a lot of resources for our project as well.
Cool. Sounds good.
Yeah, I also want to add on what Angelita said because we took the same class, which is 515 US Studio, and we also the teammates. So for this class, we have to pitch the ad concept and do the project wireframe to deliver prototyping at the end. And I think during the class, Jason will provide a lot of valuable feedbacks to make you refine your project. So you are like doing by learning and polish your prototype, polish your project, and at the end you could get a project, really like well-defined project portfolio, so you could put into your portfolio when you like when it comes to if you want to get a UX designer or UI designer a job. So I think that is really helpful.
Cool. Thank you. Lynn.
From my experience, both Angelita and Sophia are based in UI's UX experience, but for me, I only focus in social media strategy, writing, PR, communication. So Comlit has so many interesting class to offer. I really enjoyed every class that I took this quarter, which is writing class, professional long form writing. You got to learn about the basic structure of the professional long form, how the strong opening, how to like write the body and how to write the closing as well. And I really like the other class, which is UI introductions as well, even though I have no experience whatsoever in terms of UI UX design, but I really enjoyed the class because the professor, of course, and then the structure, the syllabus of the class is really interesting, and it's also give you the basic. You know nothing about UI UX design, but you can learn from it because the professor is really detailed and give really practical excitement as well. So yeah, like if you are, even though no matter you are in design field or you're in communication field, Comlit can offer you so many interesting classes that can satisfy your desire to learn. So yeah.
That's very cool. Yeah, thanks for sharing all the classes that you love to take. Yeah. I hope like we answered the questions that you may have. And additionally, if you have any more questions, feel free to email us at comelate@ujob.com. We'll stay here for one more minute. And if you have any last minute questions, feel free to ask. Otherwise, good luck with your applications and hopefully we can see you in Seattle this fall. Oh, cherry blossom season is coming on our campus, as you can see from Heather's background.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it. So I put up the background. They should be blooming within a week or two.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. When is the best time to see cherry blossom? Like April 1st, right? The first week of April.
Spring break or first week of spring quarter, which also means parking is a nightmare during that time. So take the light rail to campus first week of spring quarter.
Yeah, if you're in the Seattle area.
Yeah.
That's this April. And our communications building is right behind the cherry blossom. Yeah, quad.
Yeah.
Everyone, thank you for joining us. Thank you, Sophie. Thank you.